Hello, gang. Welcome to Weekend Warm-Up with Dr. Mike. Hope you all had a pleasant week. Today, we're going to be doing ergonomics, which is something that everyone can use either in their office space or at their home. And I'm feeling very weird right now because I'm sitting in the improper position to be in. So what I'm going to take you through in the next 5 minutes is the wrong ways that many people do things in their homes or at their office spaces. And I'm going to show you the correct way and the things you can do to correct those things. So first and foremost, many of us sit with our turning towards our computers. So we're in a turned position, and we're also sitting forward in our chair. So our backs are not supported well. And we're also in a position where our legs are not in a comfortable position to our backs. So let's start with talking about what's the proper positioning for your chair. Number one, I don't care how good your chair is, it's only as supportive as if you're using the back support. So therefore, you want to make sure that you're always sitting way back in your chair. Your chair should always be one designed to support your lower back and also your upper back. And we don't like chairs that are very movable. We want a chair which is firm. So the firmer the chair in the back, the better. If necessary, if you have one of those chairs that does not have good back support, then purchasing an inexpensive lumbar support pillow, either at your chiropractor's office or in a store, will help to support that. And as you can see, these are meant to curve to support the lumbar spine, the curve that you normally have in your back. So when you put that straight behind you, and now you're going to have even more support to your back. Also, really important when you're sitting for long periods of time to make sure that your legs are in a proper position. So you never want to be with your legs too high so that you're dangling for the floor. You also don't want to be too low where you're scrunched up. The best position is to be with your legs at a 90-degree to a little bit less than a 90-degree angle. So you want to be sitting back with your knees slightly higher than your hips, which is going to push your weight back into your chair and now give you a nice snug feel in your back. So again, most important thing is to have your knees slightly higher than your hips. Make sure you're sitting firmly behind your back so that your back is supported with a good support and that the back is not too far back. Also, really important, if you can, is have a chair that has armrests. If you're out like this, it's not good, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. So a chair that has good armrests is going to be the best thing for you. Okay? Now, next, always make sure that you're facing your monitor. So if this is the way you're set up at your desk, at work, or at home, you need to get to a point where your legs are totally in and that you're sitting straight to your work. Very often now you can get screens that move, so you can kind of tilt it so it's straight in front of you. So now your hands are in front of you and your screen is in front of you. Now also, looking here, you'll see that I'm looking up at my screen. Eventually that's going to cause a lot of pressure onto my neck muscles, into my shoulder areas, and cause me to have problems. So what you want to do is you want to adjust your screen so that your screen is set up so that when you're sitting, you want to be sitting, and when your head is straight, your eyes want to be focused on the top to 1 inch below the surface of the frame of your monitor. So again, you can do that by closing your eyes, putting your head in a neutral position, opening your eyes, and your eye gaze should be at the top of the screen or 1 inch below. And now I'm going to have no problems with that because I'm not looking up, I'm not looking down at the screen. My head should always stay in a neutral position. All right? Next, like I said, you want to make sure that the screen is facing you. It's not to the side. You're not doing this. You're not coming this way. You want to make sure that the screen is directly in front of you as much as possible. All right? Next, let's talk about your keyboard and your mouse. If you're like this all day, or like this all day, without your forearm being supported, it's going to cause a lot of problems into your forearm muscles and eventually into your shoulder and arm muscles. There's also something now which is very prevalent called carpal tunnel syndrome, We see so many more cases of that now than we did when I first started 20 or 30 years ago. And it's because people are sitting for longer periods of time at their desk and they're not supporting themselves properly. So what you want to do is make sure that your keyboard and your mouse are further enough back on the table so that your arms can be supported. Now when my arm is supported this way, all the weight is taken off my elbow and my shoulders, and it's going to be much better for less pressure into this area. Also, something which is very simple to purchase and not expensive is a wrist support. So now if you put the wrist support here, when you're typing, your wrist is going to be supported. So again, there's a big difference between feeling this without any support, and I feel the tension in these muscles, and you'll feel the same thing into your shoulders. And the minute I put this here and rest my fingers and rest my wrist, now it's so much more supportive for my hands. So again, you want to reduce your risk of carpal tunnel syndrome, as well as neck problems and breathing symptoms into your hand. This is the best way to do it. The last thing we want to talk about is your phone. Very often people are like this all day on the phone. Right? If you're like this all day on the phone, what's happening? It's causing your neck to be crunched over. It's going to cause irritation to the nerve roots coming out of your neck, and it's going to cause arm pain. So, a couple of things you can do. Number one, there's speakerphone. All right, speakerphone is the best thing to do. That way, you're not holding it at all. Height, so that your knees are slightly higher than your hips. Make sure that your back is being supported. Make sure that you have firm back support so that you're not leaning forward and don't sit forward. Number two, make sure that you're sitting close enough to your desk so that your arms can be supported and that your wrists are supported with a wrist brace. Make sure that your screen is facing you at all times and that your eye gaze is at the top of the screen or 1 inch below. And finally, you want to make sure that you're not holding the phone for long periods of time by your hand. You want to either use speakerphone or use headphones. If you have any questions about these, what I always tell my patients to do is you can take a picture of your chair or your desk at work, bring it into us or send it to us. I'll take a look at it and I'll give you some tips of ways you can rearrange your desk space to be much more ergonomically supportive for your neck and your back. All right? And again, if you have any questions about any of these things, very important, you can call us at our office, 845-634-8877, or you can check our website at www.newcitychiropractic.com. Remember to do these things over the weekend and over the week, so you would have less problems on the weekend when you are warming up. Thanks again for coming in. If you have any questions, let us know. Remember, chiropractic is just for the health of it.